I'm a person, it'll seem contradictory. I love being a student.
Yes.
I love learning. I love reading. And so I'm old school in that sense. And I taught, for 25 years at undergraduate. And so with my granddaughter and my other that I can call grandchildren, they may not be biological children. They're going to college. So I'm looking at, okay, well, show me the syllabus.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even get a syllabus. Or my children when they're in high school and they're in school, I'm saying, show me, where's the textbook? You know, and
Yeah.
and they may not have a book. Everything's online. Everything.
No, I just
They're
took two
taught
courses with no
online.
textbook. Mm-hmm.
No tech. Right. I'm very. That's disappointing for me because of how I was. I don't know, raised. I guess that I love. So there is that. There is the discouraging. So even teachers are not using books.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you find our children come out of school and they also don't write. And yet I think writing is valuable for us, in the movement. But they're not taught that. So, but
One
anyway.
of the lessons, that's definitely one of the lessons we should have learned through Ma'afa, that writing must be something we take on now. Definitely
Yeah.
something we take on.
Okay.
The last question, Mama Marimbani, and as we go
Okay.
to it, I want to thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you, asante sana. Mama Marimba Ani, please speak on Freedom Summer because it is lauded by former SNCC members to this day. So you mentioned before you didn't agree with Freedom Summer. Say more. Tell us what was.
Oh.
Yes, tell us more. I will not put my
Oh.
own words in it. Yes, please.
Whatever the movement, I call it the Southern Student Movement, which gave birth to the Black Power movement, which gave birth to the Black Studies movement, which gave birth to the Black Student movement. Okay. So people need to understand that. Whatever. Um it was ours. No matter what critique you might have. So I don't call it the civil rights movement. So obviously it's very to be.
Is it, hold on real quick. Is it just me, to those of you in the audience? Is it pausing for you as well? Mama Marimba, hold on real quick. I don't think it's me. It's paused, right? Okay. Let's give it a minute. Oh, sorry. Give me a minute, everyone. All right, our people. I am so grateful. Mama Marimbani is going to be reconnected, and she will use. Thankfully, I thank you, ancestors and our Creator. Nothing is a coincidence. This moment to just relax, and then we can close. Right. We have asked a lot of her today. It is 3 hours. She doesn't even know that. Wait until I tell her how long we took here. Thank you all for joining us. I appreciate you all, like Noire said, and I thank him. Thank you, Noire, for reminding the people to subscribe, like, share. We cannot do this work without your support. I will tell you that. I don't build Kumbukeni by myself. It is the community that builds Kumbukeni. It is the community that shares. It is the community that inspires me to get up every time. It's a challenging task and do the work. So without your support, those things do not happen. Here we go. Let's see. All right. We put you back on. You're back on.
Yeah, I'm back. And so Asante Sana.
Asante sana, ndio.
And so you have to what I think people don't know, but which I learned, and coming out of New York, coming out of Harlem, this was new to me. But while we were actually in the movement in Mississippi, there were people that I knew and loved, good people, potential warrior soldiers who had difficulty, and I'm going to say this, it sounds extreme, but it's true, had difficulty looking a white person in the eyes. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? It's hard to imagine because you don't know that, and you're at such a different place. But they had been so conditioned, and that's the kind of place Mississippi was. So that us coming, we were really outsiders in one sense, but we come down as coming from the North. I'm coming from Harlem. Where we confront everything, right, Damani? I mean, it's hard for you to really imagine that, but it was extremely important that we understand that we are saying to our people, we call them local people, we're saying, you can do this. They're telling you that, and it was real, that if you go down to the courthouse to say, I want to register to vote, you can be killed. Yeah. You definitely can use your job if you have one. But you certainly can be jailed and beaten and lynched and so forth. Now, this was real. This is not exaggeration.
Yeah.
So that kind of fear we're dealing with, but also you have to understand the rules of the South. What they were was that if you were on the sidewalk and you walked and a white person came along, you were facing them, you got off the you stepped down into the gutter. And I know all of this sounds strange because it sounds so extreme, but you have to understand, we have to understand what that does mentally to a people's self-concept over, if you grow up like that. So that downtown was white man's territory. You're very careful about even going there. You had to have business being there. And the courthouse, going into the courthouse and saying, I want to register to vote. those for them is fighting words for the white people. You got to remember you're dealing with psychotics, but you're dealing with psychotics who had total control over an area. So the fact that you got our people like Medgar Evers and so forth to confront that and say, no, we're not going to let you do that anymore. It's one thing saying that in New York. It's another thing saying it in Mississippi and doing it and acting it out. And so the movement had done that and gotten people. We had people who were feeling like that they had this power. The premise of the so-called Freedom Summer was that if you got, it was one thing for Black people to be suffering in this way and to be treated this way. Murdered. But if you got the sons and daughters of quote unquote professional white people, sons and daughters of Congress people, students coming down and doing that the response of the law enforcement people and the rest of the country of white America would be very different. And so what Freedom Summer represented was the recruitment of hundreds of white students coming down. And you have to realize these are privileged people as far as we're concerned, right? To volunteer to work in the, to organize, to get, what we didn't talk about, and we'll have to do another time. If people don't know about the MFDP, what's the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, the chair of which the
Fannie Lou Hamer
chairperson was Mrs. Hamer. Mrs. Hamer, yep. We call her Mrs. Hamer, by the way. That's what I called her.
Mrs.
She
Hamer
was a comrade of mine. I mean, we worked together. But the significance of MFDP but what it meant for her to do that, as opposed to outsiders, and that's what they call the white people call us outside agitators, to conceive of this whole thing, and then we're telling you this is what you should do, but you know what it is that you're going to have to deal with as a real result of doing it. So what that took and what that represented spiritually, emotionally, politically, consciously, and I watched Mrs. Hamer grow in consciousness because, by the way, I also had the privilege of going to Guinea with her in 1964.
Yes.
At the invitation of Sekou Touré, Nana Sekou Touré. So what that meant, then you're going to bring in and remember where they had come from. They had come from, and still some of them still were there, feeling about themselves that, oh, you got to be careful of white people. Don't challenge them. Don't look them in the eye. And I mean that literally. I know people will think I'm exaggerating, but it's true. And somebody who is from Mississippi or from somebody who knows it will be able to affirm what I'm saying. But to come from there to the point of actually signing up and becoming registered in MFDP, the Freedom Democratic Party. I was the organizer of registration, freedom registration, by the way. And then to have all of these come down, and by the way, they become, I think, Nduku, they have to be perceived as white saviors. You see what I'm saying? That's what that symbolically that's how they would it would take away the agency from my people.
Exactly.
And what I foresaw, what I really was opposed to, I'm so mad, was that when they tell the story of it after the fact, is that they would be given credit for what Black people did for themselves. So you would get all of these things saying, this was a great, freedom summer, and all these white people came down, they did this, and they did the freedom schools, and but our people were doing that in the movement before they came, and in fact laid the groundwork for it. And I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And I argued against it. And I was called a racist for arguing against it. And that's why I wanted us to really define, like, I don't talk about racism. I talk about
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, because you can define that any way you want to. And it's too vague. Everything we do and the way we talk needs to be intentional. The words we use need to be intentional.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Within the context of world African sovereignty. So I was very against it. And I feel vindicated in that exactly what I was afraid of, I think, is happening. I mean, they even have movies of it, a movie about it. Like it was the greatest thing that ever happened. Well, why was it the greatest thing that ever happened? Because the white people came?
Yeah.
So that answers that question.
Yes, and Asante again. We're going to wrap up with me reading all these messages of appreciation, messages of presence. And while I do that, you can take a deep breath and relax and just take it in. And then we can close with salams or greetings or whatever we decide we are closing with. But I appreciate you so much. Do you know that we've been here 3 hours, 22 minutes and 8 seconds counting on?
It reminds me of Nana Amos. I mean, when Amos would give a talk, Amos could talk for 4 hours.
And you don't even know it.
And he was so serious, though. And he cared so much. You know what I mean? He was never just talking to be talking. Yeah. And he was so brilliant. But anyway.
As we go to the comments, before I wanted to jump in and say, but didn't want to stop you from your thought regarding the question on what do we need for war. We most definitely, and since we are not thinking mechanically or objectifying ourselves or whatever, we need a great uncompromising love for our people, our way, and our continent, our motherland. That is necessary. That's what makes the difference. All right. Habari gani Baba Imhotep is in the building. I saw your short,
Ah,
I know, right? I saw your
yeah.
short video talking about scientific Pan-Africanism. Great job. Asante sana, Baba Imhotep. I called Mama, I messaged her. I was like, this is a great article. I am going to invite you, Baba Imhotep, to come and speak on that, because I think this is, again, the phase we're moving into. It's not just Pan-Africanism, it is scientific Pan-Africanism. But even beyond that, we will talk about it when you come on. So please clear your calendar for me. I will reach out. Mwalimu Baruti, Jambo,
Ah.
someone Arising, the name is not mentioned. Mwalimu Baruti, I look forward to meeting you. Arising 5920 says, greetings. My book study group is currently reading Yurugu. So,
Oh, excellent. And can
Arising.
I say, wait, I want to say to that I think that Dada Nduku is one of the people who understands it, and that you should let her help you in terms of guiding, because I will say this. I know it's, I don't want to, say it's just difficult and all that, but I do think it should be done collectively. And I do think guidance is good. And if there's anybody in the comments who actually studied with me at Hunter College, I
Yes.
did teach a course in which we, studied the book Yurugu. And I did a course called Theories of White Racism, by the way.
Yes, Bakra. I'll get to Bakra. I mentioned him to you. I'll get to him. So, Arising, I was going to say, and my elder has guided me there as well. Clearly, she's aligned with me. Reach out to me, and I would love to support that group in whichever way I can. And just see the fruits that are going to arise from the seeds you plant there. So, yes, we need to work more collectively and more cooperatively.
Yeah. Yes.
The efforts must be consolidated. Samori Ba, I need to put these up so that you can see them as well. I first read Yurugu in 1994 while in grad school. It made a huge impression on me and my peers and classmates.
Oh, he was wonderful.
Right? You know him. There was a before and after effect after even beginning the reader. There definitely is a before and after effect. And if there's no after effect, you did not comprehend the books. Go back and read it again. I'm going to say that without 10 toes down. Reach out to me if there's no after effect. Has it started? Yes. Just Jambo from Louisiana. That is Jamila Sekmet.
Okay.
Trappy, Zindis. I don't know if you'll recognize the names, Mama Marimba. Some of them you will. I am always reading Yurugu. It is a constant reference from vocabulary, understanding Asili. And I agree, it needs to be. It is, again, answering the question of war. It has to be a tool. And because we identify the importance, we must make sure we preserve it and defend it. Absolutely.
Oh, I appreciate you.
This one said, I have Abina, sorry for calling you this one, really, that culture of eating people. I have never read Yurugu, but I have done some research on the concepts, and the reading was suggested to me by Baba Kwaku or Kweku. Yes.
Which Baba Kweku?
Which Baba Kweku, Abina? Let us know if you can. Another member of the community, I read the book 6 years ago. Great book. As we design political systems, I feel Yurugu creates a great template for foreign policy that a unified Africa can use to interpret its relations with Western nations. I agree. I have gone farther, and I will say, let me say this before I forget, because sometimes I do this. For anyone who is interested in continuing the work grounded in Africanness and seriously seeking African sovereignty, that is the goal. African sovereignty,
right.
No compromise.
Right.
We're not going to the UN to ask for votes. We're not negotiating nothing with anyone. We are seeking African sovereignty. So reach out to me and we will do the connecting of everyone else that's involved. But reach out to me, kumbukeni1@gmail.com. That's KUMBUKENI1@gmail.com. I'll put it up as I continue to talk for it to run through. But I spelt it because I know we have some people who listen on audio. And therefore, if you're on audio, you got that spelling. You cannot see my banner. But let me put the banner up so that this is interesting. There's no banner for the email. That's interesting. .com. Scroll as we go, add banner, and let's activate it. Sure. And then I continue. Mama Marimba, peace and blessings from everyone. Return of Ma'at Abibi Fahodi. Yurugu was one of the first books that started started my Sankofa journey during my undergrad experience. Saved me from academitis.
And I laughed. That's what I wanted.
I laughed when I saw that because I understood exactly what it is.
That's why I wrote it. Yeah.
Yes, that's why. Listen. Veronica Jarrett, greetings, African family. Omowale, Abibi Fahodi family. Abina, I have met Mama Marimba in Pram Pram and attended Abokisam Sansum. Veronica said something we said the other day, the chapter 6 section, rhetoric and behavior, definitely speaks to the time we are in now, more than ever. As the elders say, history repeats itself.
It speaks to that time, but it also, I'm going to tell you something else about the time that we're in right now. I feel that the present regime, you know, or the Fourth Reich of U.S. is actually behaving in such a way and doing things in such a way that our people should be able to see clearly without the mask. Yurugu. That's what I think. I think Yurugu is showing itself.
And you said, oh my goodness, even they are starting to see the Yurugu in themselves.
I think that even they are starting to see it, and the danger, we have to be careful.
Thank you. I'm glad we brought this up.
And that's another thing that I'm working on.
I'm glad we brought this up, yeah.
And that is those who see and don't, they're looking in the mirror and they don't like what they see. Those quote unquote progressive ones, they are not equipped to do what has to be done to bring it down. They may not like it, you know, the Hedges and all of them people, but they ain't serious. They're not gonna. We cannot fall into the trap of following them again. So that particularly Wolf.
Yeah.
I don't know his first name, but I mean, it's like we've been there, done that. To go like the answer is communism. No.
The Asili will not allow them.
Communism didn't do that. But I don't know. I think that our people could easily sense, you know, anybody who's anti-Trump it's got to be good. It's got to be the way to go. But let me tell you something. I wanted to tell you this, Nduku. Because when you were having your debate and all that, and I was like, why would you even bother? But you know what? I can tell you one sentence that says the failure of Marxist analysis and theory. Guess what? The Trump-Musk regime represents and the people here who put them in and who follow them which are all the people here in when I say here, I mean U.S. You know, the belly of the beast thing. Guess what they represent? And guess what these times represent? They represent the dictatorship of the proletariat. Now, anybody who's really into
yes
Marxist theory will understand how devastating that is to say that.
You're right.
In theory, that's I know. I love it. The pinnacle of what you're reaching for, what you want, is this is that this class, this working class people, they are going to, and it's how he defines the working class. You see, everything is defined in materialist terms. They are going to save the world because they will, in fact, they will represent the state that they build will be the non-state. It's no longer a state. There will no longer be classes. They will no longer be this. They will no. But the people that he talked, they put Trump and Musk and all of them in power.
The proletariats put him in power. You're right.
And they think so poorly. They are so not.
One of them called them degenerate.
They don't even realize that Trump and them are not acting in their interest.
Yeah.
I mean, they are. It's racially, yeah. Their thing is, as long as we still, white is right and all, that's enough for them.
Yeah.
But in terms of policy and and the way the different, I don't know what you would call it, laws and all that they're doing, they're not benefiting from that.
No. It's interesting
because monetarily, they're not benefiting any kind of way you look.
I'm going to do a video on this. I'm going to do a video on what you just said to expound on it. But it's interesting because in preparation for this or something else earlier in the week, I was reading Project 2025. And when I encountered Africa, I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be reading this because it seems like they are doing something good for Africa because they are by default. They didn't plan to, but they are.
You've got to understand that.
Exactly. So I'll break those down in future videos. So continue to share love.
We do have to become much more analytical.
Yes.
And really, really think through what. Yeah, much. Anyway,
I said to Brother James once, and you love this. I said to him, Brother James, because I love you elders because you provide me sessions for therapy all the time. Thank you so much.
Right.
I get to talk to you and you comfort me. And I said to him, I feel like I'm critical of everything, Brother James, and my family hates it. People around me hate it, but I can't help myself. He says, that's what you need to be, critical of everything.
Everything. Because what it really is you have to understand that we're in Ma'afa. And you have to know what Ma'afa is. And it is an order. It is a way of ordering reality that is destructive of African life. And it is destruction.
Yes.
It is destruction.
Seto Wunokware, sending love. Jadorian Chimurenga, he's a former student of mine. I hope he returns to learn Kiswahili. He was doing well, so we'll get that taken care of. April Tremble, Hotep, Baba Olaitan, Hotep, Mama Marimba, good to see you. Blessings from Tallahassee. Ido Bale, wonderful. For my mommy, teacher, and great leader. Ashe Mwaye Basura says Ashe. D. Brown, Hotep. Marie Fernanda Pararamirez, Saludos, Mama Marimba Ani. I'm hoping, and I see from the picture, our family in the South, the Americas, South, in Brazil, and them have joined us. Amor infinita. Yes, yes, yes. My goodness, I'm sorry. The energy.
We're gonna have to end, and
Yes.
the thing is, I'm so grateful
I'll
for.
share the love later when we speak. I'll share with you all the love later when we speak.
Okay,
Yes.
good, and
Because we do need to rest.
and I thank you all for coming on. I also thank anybody who was my student at Hunter that helped me. But Damani and Ola Eshu have been so wonderful. But look at the patience. I mean, they've been sitting here through this whole thing. So I don't want to.
Yes, yes.
I don't want to be abusive.
Yes. Oh, yes. Asanteni, my brother. Go on, Mama. Go on.
And everybody needs to be studying an African language. Everybody, every African person. That should be an objective, to become fluent in an African language.
Yes.
I know I want to. So
yeah, say that again loudly so that Noire can hear you. I want him to hear that message. Say one more time. Everyone needs to learn an African language,
no,
Mama Marimba.
Every African person, if you are saying you're purporting to be African sovereignist, but if you really are, you will be studying an African language. You will be learning one. That will be an objective that you'll do that.
Asante sana. My brothers, make sure that Mama Marimba rests. Mama Marimba, make sure you rest. We will talk at another time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kila laheri, baraka, baraka. And I thank you all in the family. Thank you all in the chats, in the comments. Thank you all for supporting. Be well, everyone. Be well and be grounded in service to our people. The goal is African sovereignty. No compromise, no negotiations.
Absolutely. And
no
that means
signatures.
power, by the way.
Power.
Power. It is defined in terms of power. Total power.
Thank you. Thank you, Mama Marimbani. All right. Kwaherini. Kila laheri. Asanteni.
Whew.